Understanding sexual conduct and marriage in the Bible. The Bible's teachings on sexuality and marriage are often misunderstood, distorted by modern culture, legalism, or a lack of historical context. Unusual relationships in Scripture. Some biblical marriages seem odd by today's standards, yet they reflect the context of their time. Abraham and Sarah were half-siblings, Genesis 20:12, yet not condemned. This was before incest was restricted by Mosaic Law. Hosea was commanded to marry a prostitute, Hosea 1:2, symbolizing Israel's unfaithfulness. Context matters, historical, cultural, and covenantal. 2. Adultery versus fornication. The Bible distinguishes between two key terms. Adultery refers to a married person having sex outside their marriage without their spouse's consent. Exodus 20:14. Under the Old Covenant, this was a legal violation, though consensual polygamy wasn't labeled adulterous. Fornication, Greek porneia, includes any sexual act outside God's design, premarital sex, prostitution, incest, homosexual acts, or bestiality. 1 Corinthians 6:9-18. It's a broad term often translated as sexual immorality. This helps explain why some actions were tolerated under the Old Testament, but others were always condemned. 3. Marriage, covenant, not just ceremony. In biblical times, there was no universal marriage license. Marriages involved customs like dowries or feasts, Genesis 29, but a covenant before witnesses or consummation often sealed the union, Deuteronomy 22. Marriage is called a covenant, Malachi 2:14, a sacred God-honoring commitment. While God allowed cultural practices like polygamy, His ideal from the beginning was one man and one woman in lifelong union, Genesis 2:24, Matthew 19:4-6. Law, forbidden acts, and holiness Scripture clearly condemns sexual practices that violate God's order. Bestiality, Leviticus 18:23, is called a confusion, Hebrew tibul, a total perversion of creation. These commands distinguished Israel from pagan nations who often included sexual acts in idol worship, Leviticus 18:24-30. 5. The heart of the matter, covenant purity. The Bible consistently upholds these truths. Marriage is honorable and the marriage bed is to be undefiled, Hebrews 13:4. Sex is spiritual, not just physical. It joins two lives in covenant, 1 Corinthians 6:18-20. Love and mutual respect define a godly marriage, Ephesians 5:25-33, reflecting Christ and the Church. Conclusion. Biblical sexual ethics are not about culture or control, but about covenant, holiness, and love. While some ancient practices may not apply today, the call remains the same. Honor God with your body. Respect others. See sex as sacred, a gift meant to be kept within God's design. In a confused world, Scripture still speaks with clarity and calls us to something higher, purer, and more honoring to Him.